Are we facing a major financial crisis, market crash, or even a full-blown economic collapse in 2020? There has certainly been a lot of talk about the possibilities lately. Are you fully prepared to handle an economic collapse if it were to happen this year? Maybe you have a good emergency kit and a stockpile of all the essential supplies you put on your checklist to ride out the proverbial storm, and if so, then you're more prepared than most people. But what if you run out of things, or end up needing things you don't have? If paper money can't buy you what you need, then how will you get those things? It's a scary thought. A post-economic collapse 2020 bartering economy. If there is a full-blown economic collapse in 2020, then bartering may be the only way you can get the things you need. Bartering is trading something of value that you have for something of value that you need. Beyond bartering for essentials, you can also barter for skills and labor along with some specialty items. Dollars likely won't be worth the paper it's printed on after an economic crash, but being able to barter something of extreme value in the middle of a survival situation could get you whatever you need quickly. When thinking about really good barter items to stock up on, think about circumstantial bartering supplies and consumables. You also want to determine the value of a barter item that is relevant where you live. For example, stockpiling water in a place where it rains a lot may not have the same value as it would in a place that is more dry and arid. If you're already a prepper, most of the items on this list you will or should have in your preps already, and if possible, try and stock up while you can. These items are very basic, can be easily found, are relatively inexpensive, and many of them will be extremely valuable in a survival situation. Also, quite a few of them can be partnered together to create even more value. Here are 13 of the best barter items you can stockpile before an economic collapse in 2020 or beyond. Number 1. Salt. This item tops the list for many reasons. It's a non-perishable item, it is cheap to procure, it's essential to most people, and it has been used for millennia to flavor, cure, and preserve foods. Number 2. Food and water. Obviously, these are two essentials that everybody needs. Though some people may already have fancy storable food options, many may have no food or water at all. Large containers of rice and beans can really go a long way and also last a long time if stored properly. Consider related items like condiments and spices, and water filters and chlorine tabs. Number 3. Garden seeds. It's also a good idea to keep a few extra seed packets for growing food handy. This is a long-term play, but if a survival situation lasts for a long time, having non-GMO seeds for common vegetables will provide a safe way for anyone to grow food and could become a bountiful form of currency for you. Number 4. Coffee and tea. Of these two, coffee would probably be much more valuable, but any type of stimulant like black or green tea could also be a good substitute, especially in colder climates. Consider freeze-dried coffee and dried herbal teas, as they will store better than fresher options. Surely, no one will be looking for a latte in a survival situation, but you can also consider storing powdered milk or coffee creamer just in case. Number 5. Toilet paper and hygiene products. The last thing anyone wants to run out of, or not have at all in a survival situation, is toilet paper. It is truly a necessity for everyone, so that's what makes it a great barter item. It can be bulky to store, but one roll could have a lot of value to the right person, at the right time. For the ladies, having extra feminine hygiene products on hand could be very valuable, not just to other ladies but to others faced with bloody medical emergencies. And if you can afford to stock up on travel packs of wet wipes, those could be a nice upsell for both messy situations. Let's not forget to mention soap. A shower may be tough to come by, but without toilet paper or feminine hygiene products or wipes, a bar of soap could have a lot of value. Number 6. Tobacco and alcohol. The good and bad thing about these two items is they are both habit-forming, and the value of each of them can go up exponentially in a survival situation. Under extreme stress, having a smoke or a drink can simply take the edge off and potentially de-escalate mounting tensions. Alcohol in particular can be a great barter item because it can be used to make tinctures and clean wounds. Packs of cigarettes can be broken down and bartered as singles, and travel-size alcohol bottles are great because you'll never have to measure anything out. Number 7. Sugar. Another inexpensive food and flavor enhancer that most people are truly addicted to. In a SHTF situation, having some kind of sweetener like honey, white, brown or cane sugar could be a great barter item because a little can go a long way and it can make less palatable foods taste better. It's comforting, and in a survival situation, that could make sugar, in any form, quite valuable. Pro tip: get a box of individual packets for easy bartering. Number 8. Batteries. Power is a dynamic basic essential in a survival situation that can be easily bartered for when there is none. Sure, you might have a solar set up for power, but a little power will go a long way during a blackout for those who are not prepared. Many people have flashlights that will need batteries, so the most common options for bartering are AA alkaline batteries and 3032 lithium batteries. Number 9. Fuel. When it comes to fuel, there are many different items you can barter in a survival situation. Fuels like gasoline, butane, propane and diesel can come in handy for cooking, and powering vehicles and generators. Make sure to rotate your barter supply of fuel to keep it from going bad. Also consider stockpiling boxes of good old matches and lighters for partnering with cigarettes. Number 10. OTC meds and first aid. Over-the-counter meds like aspirin, ibuprofen, antacids, allergy meds, stool softeners and diarrhea meds can be great barter items. Even some prescription medications like antibiotics can come in handy should there be an outbreak of the flu or worse. Think SARS 2.0. Items like first aid antibacterial creams, hydrocortisone cream, hydrogen peroxide, muscle rubs and even lip balm are other great and inexpensive items you can keep a few extras of for bartering purposes. Number 11. Ammunition. This one can be tricky. The last thing you need is for this barter to go wrong. However, if you barter ammo with people that you know and trust, like a neighbor or family member, there's less of a risk this will come back to haunt you. As a barter item, it should always be a common caliber like for .22, 9mm or 12 gauge. Number 12. Precious metals. Gold and silver coin has long been a store of value for bartering in the extreme long term. Small, fractional denominations of coins like dimes and quarters are much more viable and safer for you than larger ounces and bars. Of course, precious metals have no value to someone who is hungry, but coins can be very useful should you have to travel or barter for something expensive. Number 13. Tools and equipment. Having a few extra small tools and/or equipment parts can also be great for bartering, especially in the long term. You can even find lots of cheap, albeit low-quality tools online, at Wally World, or even at the dollar store. Basic tools for fixing vehicles and small machines might be things you may overlook, but could be very valuable to someone who might need them in a pinch. That's it for the 13 best bartering items to have before a 2020 economic collapse. Remember, value is relative, depending on where you live and the circumstances of the survival situation. That is what makes all of these items really compelling to keep on hand if you are able. Before you go, check out our healthy homemade energy bars recipe, which make great survival ration bars for your bug-out bag too. Thanks for watching. Share in the comments below what items you think we may have overlooked on this list. Also, be sure to share this video with your friends, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and click that notifications bell icon. We'll see you on the next frontier.